All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. The BRR All Star event. DJ the Iceman Kenner and the Mark Nelson on the front row. Drifty Richie Joplin and Donald Durant's on the second row. Gerald Thanos Poole and Brandon Springer have the third row. Michael Dow, Jeff Hinkle on the fourth row. Blake Lawrence and DP Riggins round out the top 10. Mark Dantuma starts in 11th. All the drivers getting gridded up, ready to go. The first segment of tonight's race, 35 laps long. Caution laps will not count. After the first segment, the entire field will invert, so whoever comes home in 11th will start on the pole for the second segment, 50 laps long. But with 10 to go, the caution will come out to pack the field back up. This may all come down to that final 10-lap battle. Pace car getting ready to drop in. Pace car is in. Here we go. Green flag is in the air. The BRR All Star event is underway in Vegas. The Iceman pulls the nose ahead through 1 and 2. Richie Joplin now looking underneath the Mark Nelson. Mark Dantuma started tail into the field and is already past Blake Lawrence. Blake having some problems on the start, has dropped back. Jeff Hinkle quickly starting to make some moves forward as well, as Richie Joplin may finally clear into second place. The Mark Nelson currently in third. Donald Durant's in fourth. DP Riggins, new paint scheme here tonight on the move. He is already up 2 spots into 8th, but Mark Dantuma has the fastest lap so far. Dantuma currently in 10th, looking underneath 9th place Michael Dow. Dantuma back in the Chevy here tonight. Mark tried to peek underneath Richie Joplin. Donald Durant set the fastest lap last time by, back in fourth. Brandon Springer now peeking underneath Gerald Thanos Poole. Nobody has been able, though, to make the attack on the Iceman so far. Mark Dantuma once again setting the fastest lap as he comes by. Wow, Gerald Poole and DP Riggin, Michael Dow and DP Riggins at the same time. Gerald Poole suddenly losing a lot of ground. Drifty Richie Joplin now looking to the high side on the leader. And Richie Joplin takes the lead. Mark Nelson now looks underneath the Iceman for second place. Donald Durant's back and forth, closing in. Brandon Springer now into fifth place. Dan Tuma, though, looks to the high side. And the beautiful Unicorn cheering on Mark Nelson, hoping to see her back in the truck this week. Richie Joplin continues to lead. Mark Nelson right there with him. DJ Kenner, Donald Durant have a 1.1 second gap on Mark Dantuma. But look who has followed Dan Tuma forward, the king of tire saving, Jeff Hinkle, now into fifth. Now into sixth, Brandon Springer battling side by side with Michael Dow. DP Riggins lurking right behind that battle at the moment. Back up front, Drifty Richie continues to lead here in Vegas. Dantuma starting to close the gap on that lead group, now a half second behind and closing quickly. Will Dantuma have enough tires left when he gets there to make the move to the front? Nelson goes up the track quite a bit in 1 and 2. The Iceman looks underneath. And Mark suddenly down the back straightaway. Big run. Now looks underneath Richie for the lead. Here comes Dantuma and Hinkle. Richie Joplin leads it at the line, but for how much longer? Donald Durant loses a spot, now back into fifth as Dantuma has made his way into fourth. Brandon Springer back in seventh, closing in on that lead group. Michael Dow, DP Riggins, not far behind. They go back single file in the lead pack that won't last long. Richie Joplin continuing to lead. Mark Nelson, DJ Kenner, Mark Dantuma, and Jeff Hinkle right there with him. Mark Nelson went high through 1 and 2. We saw him use that move to get past DJ earlier in the race, and we saw him use it to slingshot up underneath Richie, but this time does not work. Jeff Hinkle now up looking underneath Mark Dantuma. He's backed off for the moment. Hinkle likely saving enough tires to pass everybody in the final laps. Brandon Springer, Donald Durant's, DP Riggins now all up in the fight. Durant's way up the track. Mark Dantuma has now made his way into third place. Dantuma started in 11th. He has had one heck of a charge so far. DP Riggins took it easy in the early going, but has now fought his way from 10th up to 6th. Whoa, Durant's really drifted up, almost got the back bumper of Brandon Springer. Richie Joplin, though, still out front. Clean Air having a huge benefit here tonight. Dantuma starting to look down underneath Mark Nelson. The top three have to be careful. There's three more lurking right on their bumpers, led by DJ Kenner, as Dantuma looks under Nelson for second. Can't get there. And here comes Hinkle. Jeff Hinkle making the move underneath to take fourth. Can he get the nose under Dantuma? Not yet. Oh, Hinkle has a little bobble. Now DP has a run. DP Riggins now to fifth. Looks underneath the Iceman for fourth. DP was definitely saving the car early on. Now on maximum attack. Richie Joplin continues to lead, though, and the battle is still on between DP and DJ. Jeff Hinkle still lurking right behind the both of them. Richie Joplin in the lead has been unable to break away from Mark Nelson. Mark Dantuma currently sitting in third. DJ Kenner at the line in fourth. Hinkle's going to come by on the high side to take fifth. Donald Durant has lost touch with the lead pack. Brandon Springer close behind along with Michael Dow. Gerald Poole we saw losing ground earlier. Blake Lawrence about to catch him. Richie and Mark have opened up a gap now on Dantuma as Hinkle looks underneath Dantuma for third. While the battle is on for third, Richie continues to lead, but Mark Nelson stays right in his tire tracks. 10 laps to go in stage 1. Jeff Hinkle now clearing into third. DJ looking for fourth underneath Dan Tuma. And DP Riggins right there with them. Richie Joplin continuing to lead with 8 laps to go. Mark Dantuma has drifted back to 5th. DP Riggins right there with him. DJ Kenner just ahead. Dantuma looks underneath Kenner again, as Hinkle is trying to close the 2-second gap on the 2 leaders. But if Mark and Richie start battling, that gap could get very small very quickly. Six laps to go in stage number 1. DJ Kenner back in 4th as DP looking back underneath. It's a drag race down the back straightaway. The Iceman has the nose ahead. Jeff Hinkle that time by did not gain any ground on the top 2, but he has opened up a 1.2 second gap on DP Riggins, now in 4th. Mark Nelson has not pushed the issue at all on Richie, but now is starting to peek the nose underneath. Mark doing the same trick we saw him do earlier, drift into the high line, but does not get the big run out of turn 2 like we saw him doing earlier in the race. Mark all over the bumper of Richie Joplin. This is the battle for the lead. They have pulled even further away from Jeff Hinkle. DP Riggins in 4th has now pulled a gap on Dantuma and Kenner. Two laps to go in Vegas. Who's it gonna be? Mark looking all over the place for some momentum, but Drifty Richie not making it easy here tonight. Oh, a little blink out of Richie. White flag is in the air one more time around. Mark to the high side, looking for the momentum out of 2. Into turn 3. Richie Joplin has it for the moment. Mark does not have the momentum. Checkered flag flies. Richie Joplin wins at Vegas. Mark Nelson coming home in second. Jeff Hinkle in third. And before we talk to our top three, let's see if we can get a word with Dan Tuma. We thought this was going to be a much... Nope, here we go. Into a 5-minute warm-up. Let's see if we can get a quick word with our top three from stage one. Starting with third place, Jeff Hinkle. Jeff, third place in stage one. You got to be happy, especially coming from as far back as you did.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I felt pretty good. I think maybe if I might have a little bit of a shot with these guys if I don't have to work through traffic. We'll see. Although I guess I'm starting in the back again, so I got that experience at least.
Yes, you do. The full field invert is going to make things interesting here in the final part of this one.
Yeah, maybe I have a little advantage. I had to work my way up through that dirty air, and the other two did not. They were up front the whole time, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
It's definitely going to be interesting. You're known for conserving tires, and you've got the advantage now coming through the dirty air. They did not have to battle that, so you're definitely going to come out ahead on this thing if it comes down to a battle at the end.
Yeah, I hope so.
Well, man, great job, and good luck in race 2.
All right, thanks, Doug.
Mark Nelson coming home in second. Mark, you came home in second behind Drifty Richie. Did you learn anything that'll let you get by him in race 2?
Don't ever let him buy me.
Let me guess. He said he's terrible at this track.
Yeah, he did, and you heard it.
Man, it was an interesting race. When you guys broke away a little bit, it settled in, but there for a while, there was a lot of back and forth.
Yeah, they kept in a group there for a pretty long time, and I feel like this size of track and my skills kind of match, but Dirty Air was just the killer of me there towards the end. I mean, you saw it if you were on my car much, but I would get behind him and then just run him down, and then I'd stop, and then maybe lose, and then run him down and stop. It was just, I couldn't get any further forward than that. It was frustrating, but it was a good time.
Well, it definitely was, and a great start to the event for you, man. Great job. Congratulations.
Thanks, Doug.
And Richie Joplin winning stage 1. Richie, you won stage 1, but now you got a long way to go.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention about the invert. If I know that, I would have sandbagged and fell to the back. But I can't do that, really, because I want to win.
I can understand. I would almost sandbag with you on that one, but, man, now you've got to come from the back, and there was a car charging late in that one that was coming for you. Obviously, Jeff Hinkle and a few others learned to drive in the dirty air. You did not get that opportunity. Is that going to be a factor?
Well, when I was behind DJ, when he was in front of me, I felt it every lap whenever he went down to take the low line. My car wasn't turning real great, so I had to go up a little bit so I can get some air on the front end of the car. And I finally just passed DJ on the high side. I mean, that was the only open opportunity to get by him with kind of fresh tires. You can really mess somebody up behind you by doing that air blocking, whatever you call it. I don't know. Make the car tight. It's just weird. This car is weird to me.
It definitely is, but still a great job winning in stage 1. Now it's time to go out there and get another win tonight.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind winning the second stage, but I mean, got a lot of tough competition. You got both Marks, you got Jeff, you got DJ, you got DP. I mean, everybody in there has got a chance to win this second stage.
Well, man, good luck. It's going to be a fight.
Thank you, Doug.
Richie Joplin wins stage 1. Now on to stage 2. 50 laps here in Vegas. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Stage 2. Blake Lawrence and Gerald Poole on the front row. Brandon Springer and Michael Dow have the second row. Donald Durant and the Iceman on the third row. Mark Dantuma, DP Riggins on the fourth. Jeff Hinkle, Mark Nelson round out the top 10. And Richie Joplin, by virtue of winning stage 1, will start in 11th. All the drivers quickly to the grid. Now this is 50 laps, but at 10 to go, they will have a caution, bring the field back together and battle it out for the final 10 laps. Hey, good evening, Russell. Hey, good evening, Kevin. Don't worry, Kevin, the stages are just for tonight. Apparently, Gerald Poole got the wall in stage 1, hoping to not repeat that. A full field invert, 50 laps to battle and determine who the All-Star is for this season. Pace car is in. Green flag is in the air. They are away at Vegas. Something happened with the inside line. It did not get going. And Gerald Poole has checked out. And a lot of cars have been dropped. A lot of fast cars to the back. Mark Dantuma back to 10th. Jeff Hinkle managing to sneak by on that high side. That outside line, man, they had a huge advantage off the start. Gerald Poole, Michael Dow, DJ Kenner, DP Riggins, Mark Nelson, the current top 5. Richie Joplin managed to come through. He is already up to 6th. Richie Joplin has the fastest lap so far in stage 2. And caution is out. Looks like Blake Lawrence may have had a problem. Oh, looks like there may have been some contact with Mark Dantuma. Let's take another look. Looking down from the blimp, Blake up on the high line. Dan Tuma just barely gets into him. Almost has it saved. A bump from Springer sends him around, and ouch. A hard hit. He did toe to pit road. Our first caution of the night. After that odd start to stage 2, as we'll pack the field back up. Mark Dantuma, Brandon Springer, Donald Durantz, Blake Lawrence, all on pit road. And because caution laps do not count, Lawrence may be able to get back out here and maintain the lead lap. Gerald Poole continues to lead, followed by DJ Kenner, Michael Dow, DP Riggins, and Mark Nelson. Richie Jomplin, Jeff Finkel, Mark Dantuma, Brandon Springer, and Donald Durantz round out your top 10. Blake Lawrence has not started rolling from pit road yet. Does not look like Lawrence's pit stop has even begun yet, as everybody's stacking back up for the restart. And you know what we haven't done yet tonight, but I know you guys at home absolutely love, and we do too, is our favorite little crank it up. So what do you say we get a little bit loud? When the green flag drops, I will shut up. You guys crank up the volume and enjoy the sound of all that horsepower. Here we go. Pace car is in. Crank it up, everybody. Everybody back, green flag racing. Blake Lawrence is out off pit road. He is currently a lap down. If we get a caution, he will be waved back to the lead lap. DP Riggins, though, now to second place, closing the gap on Thanos. Richie Joplin back up into fourth on the bumper of DJ Kenner. Mark Dantuma, after his stop, moving back up into seventh. Mark Nelson has drifted back into ninth. Looks like the fresh tires that some of these drivers took, even though they only had a couple of green flag laps on them, may be paying off. They'll definitely pay off if the race stays green for a long period of time. Gerald Poole, though, continuing to lead. DP on his bumper. DJ Kenner and Richie Joplin battling for third. Jeff Hinkle currently lurking back in fifth place. Michael Dow right behind in sixth. Dan Tuma now in seventh. Durant's in eighth. Mark Nelson in ninth. Brandon Springer way back in 10th. Blake Lawrence a lap down in 11th. Richie all over the back pole. That got a little sketchy. DP moves down to the bottom. Richie, man, it looked like he was going to try and make it 3 wide. Rolls out of it a little bit. Oh! Looked like there may have been a little kiss between DJ and Richie. Some very, very close racing here in stage 2. Now Hinkle sees an opening, shoots underneath Richie Joplin. Michael Dow came out of turn 4 very, very low. And look who's starting to move back up. Mark Nelson back in the fight. Gerald Poole has the clean air, maintaining the lead by a few car lengths over DP Riggins. Dan Tuma looks to the high side on Michael Dow. He'll take 6th. Mark Nelson now moving up to the high line, looks and comes past Michael Dow. Donald Durant is going to follow him through. Michael Dow manages to hold Durant off for the moment. Durant, another driver in a new paint scheme here tonight. DP Riggins still holds second right behind Thanos, but it's going to get dicey. The Iceman is coming. Richie Joplin still on DJ's bumper, and Hinkle looking under Richie again, but can't get it done. Mark Dantuma can. He looks back underneath Jeff Hinkle down the front stretch. Mark Nelson lurking right behind. Richie now ducks out, trying to get by Kenner. Oh, they did touch. Richie has the run, takes the position. Kenner Kinner fights back on the high side. Nobody giving an inch here tonight. No points on the line. All the glory. Hinkle now looking to the high side on Richie. Gerald Poole is loving all the battling going on behind him, but he wishes DP was back there with him as DP has caught his bumper. But as we heard from Mark Nelson in stage one, it was easy to get to the bumper and very difficult to pass. DJ Kinner, Richie Joplin go at it again. Jeff Hinkle, Mark Dantuma side by side right behind. And DP looks low out of two. Did Gerald get the wall? DP right on his bumper. Does not look like Gerald got the wall out of two. No loss of momentum, but man, it was close. And Richie Joplin finally completes the pass on DJ to take third. Now Hinkle's going to look under. Man, a big run out of four for Jeff Hinkle. They are trying to get three wide back behind. Dantuma now has a run under the Iceman. Mark back to fifth. And Donald Durant's back on the move. He looks underneath Kinner. DP Riggins looks to the high side trying to make a move on Gerald. Richie looks to the bottom. Jeff Hinkle's coming with him. Richie Joplin won stage one. Can he do it again here? Remember, with 10 to go, they will throw a caution. The field will get back together. Likely to see everybody in. 4 tires and fuel. Holy cow, it's getting dicey behind. Richie Joplin to the lead. A battle for second between Gerald and DP. Eight cars at the moment, all under a blanket, battling for position. The top three go single file for the moment. Mark Dantuma, Jeff Hinkle battle for fourth. Hinkle lost momentum. He is stuck in the middle, 3 wide. Oh, they got close with Durant. They're going to go off into turn 1, 3 wide. Hinkle in the middle. Mark Nelson up top. Nelson clears and a 2. Well, that got a little spicy there, folks. Richie continuing to lead. DP in second. Gerald Poole battling with Mark Dantuma for third. Mark Nelson lurking in fifth. Jeff Hinkle in sixth. Donald Durant's now in seventh. DJ Kinner in eighth. Michael Dow back in ninth. Brandon Springer in 10th. Blake Lawrence a lap down in 11th. When we get the 10 to go caution, Lawrence will be waved back to the lead lap. And now the battle is on for third. Mark versus Mark. Mark the man Dan Tuma on the high side. The Mark Nelson on the bottom. And the Mark Nelson will clear out of turn 2 to take third. But Dan Tuma quickly looked back underneath. Gerald Poole trying to hold on to 5th place. Hinkle's got to run up top. The last 10 laps of this race are gonna be insane. DP starting to look to the high side. He has made a lot of moves up top here tonight. But Mark Nelson down low. DP tried to make a move on Richie and it slowed him down as Nelson got underneath. Dan Tuma still lurking back behind. Richie Joplin looks in his mirror, sees exactly what he wants to see. These guys side by side, they can't battle him. Michael Dow has gone to pit road unexpectedly. Mark Dan Tuma back and forth trying to get underneath Mark Nelson. Dan Tuma's coming in. Jeff Hinkle, Gerald Poole, this will be their fuel stop. Richie Joplin continues to lead with DP Riggins, Mark Nelson right there with him. Will they come in? No, they are not. Mark Nelson tried to make it. He does make it in, but barely. DJ Kenner is in. And the fall off has been dramatic here. Richie Joplin a 1.5 seconds slower last time by than his fastest lap. He cannot afford to stay out on old tires very long. DP Riggins is in. That just leaves Richie Joplin and Donald Durant out on track. Sounds like Richie is slowing down. He is bringing her in. Durant is going to stay out and lead a lap. Durant did come in during the caution early in the race. Mark Dan Tuma, currently the highest running car that has completed stops. He has a 1 second gap on Jeff Hinkle. Richie Joplin on his way out. Donald Durant has not been in yet. And Durant's continuing to stay out. Can he make it another 5 laps? Mark Dantuma, meanwhile, as second. Jeff Hinkle in third. Mark Nelson in fourth. Gerald Thanos Poole in fifth. DP Riggins in sixth. DJ Kenner in seventh. Richie Joplin stayed out too long. He has dropped back to eighth. Durant's continuing to stay out. Blake Lawrence has come to pit road. He was already a lap down. And Donald Durant is on pit road. The final pit stop. Now the question becomes, how many of these guys will come in for the comp caution? Mark Dantuma coming through 3 and 4 should reclaim the lead. Dantuma has the lead with a gap of 1.1 seconds over Jeff Hinkle. And caution! Blake Lawrence has had a problem. That was dramatic. Blake had just come off of pit road. I don't believe he was fully back up to speed. Oh! And Mark Dantuma clipped him. This will likely be the comp caution, and we're likely to see at minimum Mark Dantuma on pit road. Dantuma is headed in. The rest of the field is going to come. Donald Durant will have a huge advantage here. He could take right sides only, be off pit road before everybody else. Mark Nelson already rolling. Mark Nelson wins a race off pit road, followed by Gerald Poole. David Abshire Jr. cheering on. Mark Dantuma came out in third. It looks like Mark Nelson and Gerald Poole took right sides only. This is going to be a wild finish. All the drivers have fresh tires. Most of the field, 4 fresh tires. They'll have just over 10 to go when the green flag drops. First and second place, right sides only, the rest of the field. 4 fresh tires. Blake Lawrence still sitting on pit road. Caution laps do not count in the All Star Race. Dan Tuma definitely got that car fixed after that contact with Blake. We saw some epic battles earlier in this race, a lot of back and forth. And with just over 10 laps to go, things are really going to heat up. Blake Lawrence is back off of pit road as the lights go out on the pace car. Everybody stacked up, side by side. Who will be the All-Star? Donald Durance has had a problem. And the lights are back on. The caution has been extended. See what happened here with Durance. He pulls down and just comes to a stop. Not sure. Looks like he may have been having some technical issues. The lights are back out on the pace car. So we will go green next time by. Durance is not rolling. Durance still stopped at the exit of pit road. He is rolling now and is still on the lead lap, so he still has a shot. The lights are back on. They'll extend the caution. Should get 1 to green this time. But now Durance will have to come from 10th place to try and pull off the win. No telling what kind of chaos we'll see here in just a moment. We know tonight has been non-stop back and forth side-by-side action. Now all the drivers on fresh tires ready to go. will Lady Luck be with tonight? Any one of the 10 drivers on the lead lap could still pull off the win here. And here we go. Pace car is in. Green flag is in the air. It's 11 to go at the line. Mark Nelson clears. Mark Dantuma also clears into second. Gerald Poole drops down into line in third. DP and Jeff Hinkle battling it out for fourth, back behind. Mark Nelson has a half-second lead at the moment over Mark Dantuma, but Dantuma has 4 fresh tires. As a dogfight is on back behind, Gerald Poole losing ground. Hinkle now to third, Richie Joplin into fourth. Mark Nelson's lead is growing. Dantuma in second, maybe in trouble. Jeff Hinkle is coming. Mark Nelson finished second in stage 1, could not make a move to get past Richie Joplin. Did he take a track position advantage here? Will it be enough? Jeff Hinkle has come by Dantuma now to second. Richie Joplin now to fourth. Gerald Poole holds on to fifth. And it is side by side. Back behind is Michael Dow and DP Riggins battle. DJ Kenner has a bit of a run up on the high side. Mark Nelson has a 1.2 second lead over Hinkle. Mark Dantuma, Richie Joplin right there with Hinkle trying to close the gap. DP Riggins has cleared his battle, now into sixth, trying to reel in Gerald Thanos Poole. Jeff Hinkle trying like crazy to close the gap. He has closed it down to 1.1 seconds on the leader, Mark Nelson. Five laps to go for the Mark Nelson. His lead back to 1.2. It is single file through the field for the moment. But Jeff Hinkle unable to gain any ground on the leader at the moment. DP Riggins just set the fastest lap of the race. And here we go, 3 laps to go for Mark Nelson. Richie Jomplin now looking to the high side on Dan Tuma. Richie may have kissed the wall, but he keeps his foot in it and has the run. Mark Nelson's lead starting to shrink. It is now 1 second over Jeff Hinkle with 2 laps to go. And out of turn 4, here comes Mark Nelson. White flag in the air. 1 more lap to go in the BRR All Star Race. Hinkle pushing that car to its absolute limit, but still a second behind. And out of turn 4, Mark Nelson is going to do it. He will be the BRR All Star for 2024. Jeff Hinkle coming home in second. Richie Jomplin comes home in third. Mark Dantuma finishing fourth. Gerald Poole in fifth. And let's talk to our top 3, starting with Richie Jomplin. Richie, quite a battle to come home in third.
Yeah, I think I should have took 2 tires on that last stop, but it was all good. I knew I was going to have a battle at the end with the people I was battling with. But it was a lot of fun. It was great. I enjoyed it.
Well, man, it was a great job. You came from the back in the second stage and managed to come home with 2 podiums tonight. You got to be happy.
Yeah, I'm happy about that. I take a win and a third, and led some laps and had a good battle with DJ there, and we was rubbing doors, having a good old time. He didn't say nothing. I barely touched Jeff, and he went a crying. But other than that, it was all fun.
Well, man, great job. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you.
Richie Jomplin comes home in third. Jeff Hinkle finishes in second. Jeff, I thought you were going to run him down with 4 tires. Just wasn't enough time.
I needed those extra laps that we tried to sort the iRacing scoring out, I think. If we wouldn't have had all those, I might have had a better chance anyway.
It was still one heck of a battle you guys had on the restarts, especially a ton of back and forth.
Yeah. This is a fun track. You can run 2 lines here. It's a really good track, and you got to deal with the dirty air and the tire wear. So it always puts on a good race.
It definitely does, man. Congratulations, great race.
All right, thanks, Doug.
Hey, good evening, Onyx. And finally, the 2024 BRR All Star, the Mark Nelson. Mark, you are the 2024 BRR All Star. Great strategy to pull off the win.
Thanks, Doug. I was taking a chance there, but like I told you earlier, it seems like the first car was the one that had command, so I was like, 10 laps, gonna do it.
It definitely paid off, worked, and an epic launch off the restart got you far enough ahead that nobody could run you down.
Yeah, that was another part of the strategy, is try to make sure that I kind of tricked them a little bit. I don't think I even tricked them so much. I just was like, this seems like a good place, and didn't mess up the gears. And yeah, I got about a second ahead, and that was it.
Well, it definitely worked. It paid off great, man. Congratulations. You are the All-Star. Great win.
Thank you.
Wow, what an all-star race we had. Thank you guys. so much for tuning in. Hope everybody had as much fun as we did with this All-Star event. Don't forget to come back tomorrow night, 9 Eastern, as Jones BS Racing is back. A full week of racing again, and of course, we will have streams throughout the day, and hopefully, the Unicorn will be back sometime this week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope y'all had as much fun as we did. Have a great night, everybody.